Will everyone, will the other two be missing today?
Bit as soon as I get this set up. Oh, welcome.
Yeah. Yes, you're very quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'll bring this mic closer. Hello.
I'll just close my windows 1 second, real quick.
Just getting signed in to Roll20.
So how's where you're at now then?
Oh, good. We're in Alberta now, so less smoky, less on fire.
That's good.
But yeah, no, it was kind of funny because our original evacuation plan was to go to BC to stay with my sister, and then her city had their own fire evacuation. So everywhere's on fire.
Uh-oh.
You'd think Mother Nature was Oprah. You get wildfire! You get wildfire!
No kidding. So
Yeah, Germany's weird also because we had warm and humid weather, and now we have a mosquito plague. What's it? Plague?
Yeah,
We have a
plague.
lot of mosquitoes, like unusually many.
infestation.
Which is why I close my windows now, even though it's still bright outside, because I don't want to deal with that when I come out when it gets dark.
You don't want to deal with mosquitoes? What's wrong with you?
Oh, normally, like at the coast, I get like 1 or 2 per year, and I've already had 5, even though I'm really careful with when I open my windows now.
You can get like a citronella candle or something.
It works.
I think so.
Oh, one time I had a candle lit on my desk, and a mosquito flew into it, and then lit on fire, but continued to fly. And I was really scared it would light something in my room on fire, but it burned before I could do anything. Like the flame died.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think there's a funny sketch of
But I
that
was
happening
like,
to a
what the
mum.
fuck?
Well, mosquitoes aren't the brightest.
No, they aren't.
Well, they are when they're on fire.
Shh. Yeah. It hasn't been too bad here. It's just been hotter in the summer than usual, but we haven't had anything like tornadoes or wildfires. I know it's been smoky from Canada's wildfires, though not nearly as bad as it was last year.
Damn you,
It was
Canada.
Surprising.
We were supposed
Canada's
to have
blazing it up.
We were
Yeah.
supposed to have a really bad storm on
420
what was it,
blazing.
Saturday on the island? But nothing happened. You can't trust the weather forecast on Helgoland.
Oh, the weather is predicting the weather. They get to predict the future. They don't have to say what's happened.
Alright, well, I think we can get going. I'm sad we don't have a Kai, but we can definitely make it work with the 3 of us.
Yeah. I did my journaling real quick this afternoon.
That's fine. No one is. I mean, we didn't play last week, so you didn't need a placeholder or anything.
Yeah, I forgot to do that anyway. Did I? I think I forgot that. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I'm still hoping I can find some more afternoon people. I've had a couple of them ping, but so far all of them have not gone through. So I continue my search.
Should I do a recap?
Yeah, I was trying to think if there was anything else I needed to catch up on. I am still feeling iffy. I almost canceled this morning, but then at the last like few hours I started feeling better, so I was like, all right, we're gonna push through.
Well, if you start feeling worse again, I'm not against finishing early.
I think I'll be okay, but yeah, I definitely will keep that in mind. I might have to take breaks now and then to use the restroom, but I think I'll be okay. So, yeah, why don't we do a quick recap of last time?
So, was still the 41st of fall. So we went into the room where the Umber Hulk came out of. We found a spike pit. Then there was a tunnel on the side of the pit, leading further into a cave. We decided to check it out. We also found out that Flintwing has heard of an Order of the Oasis, but not of a disciple of the Oasis. And he also said that apparently tieflings attacked one of the cores of the Feywild one time. We found a big cave. Kai's owl scouted for us, found a roper. The roper found it and it got eaten, probably. We found a bullet to the east, some bloated ghouls to the west, but there were too many of them for us to take on, so we chose the roper and continued north, but we managed to avoid it. We skipped over the skeleton with the magic armor because we were afraid it could be a trap. We didn't want to deal with that. Kai and me gathered some nature essence we could make into nature components. Then something started to fly above us. And it was a wraith, and it attacked us, and it summoned a spectral creature. We defeated them, kept heading north because the way west kept going downwards again. We managed to get out of the cave, traveled for a bit, settled down for the night, and then we decided that the youngest Quentin should lead us to his druid grove. We managed to get there on that day in the afternoon, and now we're allowed to stay there, and the elders said something about sending a messenger to the archdruid.
Yeah, so I believe the message was sent, and I think you were waiting for a response. So it's the 42nd of fall at 5 p.m. What do you all want to do? I was assuming we would pass some time waiting for the archdruid to respond to the message. That would either be we can do downtime projects, or we could just pass time quietly. So if any of you wanted to work on anything,
I think I did something already. I think I converted some moss into nature components, but I rolled really bad, so I got only half of what I used.
yeah, which is kind of the default if you don't do well. But do you have any of you have projects you want to work on, like making potions or any type of crafting or?
Potion takes like 8 hours, right?
Yeah, so depending on the potion, for example, the most common potion, healing potion, I believe is 1 day of downtime, which is 8 hours.
I do think I have some nature components now, because I think I have 25 gold pieces worth. I need to open my inventory, 1 second.
Alright, actually...
I have 25 gold pieces of nature components and 10 gold pieces of rare nature components.
So there's rare essence, or there's rare herbs. Components
Yeah.
generally are just like they're just components.
Yeah, it's rare herbs.
Okay,
Yeah.
so those are basically nature essence. I just used to
Okay,
call
I need
them rare
convert the
herbs.
two. Okay, good to know. I'm noting that down. How much nature components does one potion use up?
So the cost to create potions, you'd have to have the recipe for it. Which, if you have herbalism, you automatically have. Yeah, you automatically have the recipe for a basic healing potion. Which I think if you look under, let's see, notes, under rules downtime activity, you kind of click on that. One of the stuff is potion brewing. And I believe for healing potions, it's 25 gold or 25 worth of maho for each potion you're making.
Could I still start this today and finish that tomorrow?
There's not enough time today to work on the downtime project, but you could start it tomorrow. So what about the rest of you? Do you have any projects? Did you want to talk to anyone? Or should I just pass some time?
I'm just mixing with the druids, trying to take in as much as I can.
Alright. So kind of like a carousing type thing?
Yeah, kinda.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. That's you.
And what exactly are you trying to talk to just some of the lower level like druids or
Honestly, I'm just trying to because these are the first druids and druid communities I've properly met because Kai didn't really teach me anything, so I'm kind of just like trying to soak in and get a feel for what it's like.
Alright. So you're talking to them. Patchwork is sort of getting her materials ready for tomorrow for potion brewing. And Elise is just kind of hanging out.
Elise is gonna pull Flintwing aside at some point.
Alright. So Flintwing is kind of hanging out with Quentin. Are you trying to get its attention, or are you trying to keep it secret that you're talking to it, or are you just gonna kind of walk up and...
Yeah, I wanna try to be secret about it.
Alright, give me a... I don't know, give me a deception, I guess? Oh, yeah. So, sure, like when Quentin's kind of off with one of the druids, you would approach Flintwing, who doesn't seem to be too happy about talking to you. He would say, "What do you want, trickster? I have no time for you."
And I don't really have time for you either, but we need to talk.
Do we? About what?
Well, I mean, what? I guess the first thing is, and then her face, like, we're like somewhere like in the forest where nobody can see, right?
There are druids around, but no one's in the immediate area.
Okay, she would want to take him somewhere like a little bit quieter.
Give me a persuasion check. Also, give me a moment. I'm going to try to figure out why it keeps rolling guidance for you.
I don't know why. Like,
Try
there was a bunch of
rolling
I turned
something.
off all the-
Oh, it looks like it
turned off all
worked.
the bless. Like there's little bless and guidance check things off, but
Yeah, it looks like it
I turned
worked.
it off.
So usually that's kind of a known bug if if you check it, then uncheck it. It usually fixes it. So Flintwing seems a bit hesitant. He says, are you planning on stabbing me when no one's around? Why do you want to speak in private?
You know something of mine, and I need to know. You know something about me, and I need to know if you'll keep it to yourself.
So it kind of arches an eyebrow at you. Says, what do you have to offer to make it worth my while? I assume you're speaking of your heritage. Have you not told your friends? It makes sense. Changelings. And it says that a little bit louder than you'd like.
Please. Look. What can I mean, I've got money. I've got items that I can give you.
It says, oh, money. And I suppose I'll put this money in my pockets that I have. And it kind of motions to its body. What would I do with such strange human creations?
Well, I've got this. I've got potions of healing that I could give you.
Give me another persuasion attempt.
I have no idea what I could give this dragon to keep it quiet.
So it looks at you a little bit, like it has a little bit more interest. It says, a potion could come in handy. Do you have anything shiny that I could wear? Your people like jewelry, don't you?
Do I have much shiny?
Maybe a ring or a necklace. I've seen others wearing those, and I want one.
I don't have any on me right now, but I have this pearl.
Oh. Its eyes kind of glint a little as you pull out the pearl. It says, this is your 100 gold piece pearl for spellcasting.
I have 2 of them for some reason.
So yeah, it looks over this pearl. It says, your offer is acceptable. And it kind of puts out its hand to take the pearl.
And she'll just kind of say, and that means you tell no one about what I am.
Yes. I won't mention your trickery to your group.
To no one. Anyone.
It says, to anyone. There's no one here I would tell that I know.
Good. She'll hand over the pearl.
It will greedily take the pearl, kind of rolling it around in its little paw. It says, why would you not just tell your allies of your background? It's a skill that could come in handy.
That is information. That information is worth far more than what you have.
It says, I don't really care, but it just seems like they will figure it out at some point anyway, and then they'll have even less trust of you.
I haven't figured it out yet.
So, yeah, it's now distracted by your pearl, kind of fluttering around and like rolling it around its paw. Or claws, I guess. So, yeah. If there's nothing else, I'll just pass some time here. The grove here would probably feed you. So you don't have to worry about food or upkeep here. The rest of the evening will pass quietly. Let me check something. Have you guys hit a milestone yet? I don't think so. No. Level 6, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
No, you don't level up yet.
please.
Not yet. Let's see. Calendar. So yeah, the evening will pass into the next morning, the 43rd of fall at 9 a.m. Now, Patchwork, you said you're gonna work on a potion.
Yep.
So usually, at least for activities that are more than a day of downtime, you would record them in the party information sheet.
Yeah. Sorry, I had something else open.
Uh,
I will open that now.
yeah,
So
you're.
we have the 43rd.
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't have to record it if it's just a day, because either it's going to happen or it's going to not. But if it's a week or 5 days or more, you definitely, or actually multiple days, you want to record it here. Excuse me. What about Quentin? You said you were talking to the druids. Give me another persuasion. So Selena and the other Quentin have been kind of off on their own. I'll say you've been with Ahoto, and she's been kind of showing you around.
Okay. A persuasion.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you've been kind of seeing the grove. She's been showing you all she can with the relics that they keep here. At one point, she would say, oh, do you have any skills with brewing?
Yeah, no, I can. I'm good with herbs and things. I don't know why. I just didn't know how to put them together.
As well, many druids know of such things, but yeah, maybe you can help me with something. She says, I am kind of the unofficial potion maker of our town. And what's his name? And Sethic told me that I should give you all some of the components we have as a reward. But since we also have places to brew and create potions, I thought, yeah, maybe you could just use them to make something, and I can help you. So she would kind of lead you to her little alchemy / herbalism lab, where you see a couple of different potions brewing, as well as some completed ones. Not that like you'd want to steal them or anything, but it's good to know they're here. She says, is there any type of potion your group would make? I actually have quite a few recipes. She seems happy and proud of herself.
Mostly we just do like health potions. Like Patchwork's the one who does it mostly. But honestly, any potion you could give us would be, or any potion recipe you could give us would be great.
She says, well, I could definitely give you some of my recipes. Patchwork is the stone woman, right?
Yes, Patchwork is the Warforged person, yes.
Ah, Warforged. I'll have to remember that. She kind of walks over to one of the cubbies and pulls out a bunch of scrolls. She says, these are some of my recipe copies I've jotted down. If Patchwork wants, she can, if she has paper and a quill, she's welcome to some of our recipes, but these copies would probably do her some good. Does she have all the healing potions?
No, I think Elise has that. Elise likes to hoard everything. Seriously, like the minute she sees something shiny, it's in her bag. She's not a big fan of sharing. No, Patchwork's the one who can make them. So, yeah.
Oh, well, do you know what recipes Elise has? I feel like if you have some of these, I would rather keep them.
We know what recipe. I don't know what No,
I don't think we have any recipes. I don't know. You'd have to check the bag of holding.
give me a second. I've got to go to the Discord thing.
Yeah, it might be
Find this.
good if you put a section for your recipes, your group recipes kind of separate. The party treasury is like a huge mess right now. Like no one is
I-
really.
I need to find
I
it.
still have one on my cell in my inventory in case I need to heal someone in the field.
I need to find the tab that takes me to it. Hang on.
It should. Do we have? Oh, we do have a recipes tab. Usually those are just in the. So it
Oh,
looks
no, I
like
don't
you
have-
have greater healing, climbing, and water breathing are the 3 recipes the group has.
Oh, that's it. Where is it?
What are you looking for?
No, I was looking for that to see if I could find it, but I have no idea.
If you go to the party sheet, there should be a recipes tab. It's like the 4th one over.
No, I'm trying to find the thing that takes me to the.
Oh, the link?
Yeah.
That should be pinned in the Discord. If it's not, I'll do that. So if you go to the main chat, click on pins, there's a party treasury.
Oh, that's how you do it. Okay.
Yeah. So that should take you there.
All right, cool. So I'll tell her about what recipes we have.
So she says, oh, all right. Yeah, I have a couple I can add to your collection. Do you have
Yeah,
something
right.
to write them down with?
Huh. Do I have something to write? Let me go to old Quinton because I haven't. There's a lot of stuff I didn't transfer over.
DM,
Yeah.
one question. The amulet of the devout, that doesn't probably need attuning, right?
The amulet does require attunement, I believe.
Could I have done that on the evening of the previous day?
Yeah, or you could do it in the morning. You just
Yeah.
have to. Okay, yeah, sure. We'll say you spent a short rest yesterday.
Thank you.
But yeah, I've got like a book of paper.
Okay.
I
So
just need to look up what it does again.
It gives
yeah,
like a +1 to stuff, your cleric stuff, your spell saves, and everything.
yeah. Didn't I link that? Here, let me see if I have that. Amulet of the Devout.
I'm gonna write myself a note and put it on my pin board.
Here, I'll link it again. Oh, well, before I do that, let me get you these recipes. So you would get a recipe for. So you have greater, so she won't give you that one. But she will give you a recipe for superior healing, which is the next level up. She'll also. Let me see what other potions she has. She'll also give you a recipe for a potion of necrotic resistance and a potion of fire resistance. So go ahead and record those in your recipes. Usually that would be the quartermaster, but since he's not here.
Is it? No, I won't have to worry about that. No, it's cool. Cool. So superior healing, necrotic resistance, fire resistance. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll write all them down. And thank you. That would be very, very.
And
Useful.
she will also give you some other stuff.
Okay.
She'll give you 206 Maho of nature components. She says you can use these to make more potions. This is about 1/3 of our stash, but helping to bring Quinton back, I think you deserve it. And I would appreciate if you didn't let the elder know I gave you that, and she gives you like a little smile.
Okay, so how much did she give us?
206 Maho of nature
Okay.
components.
So we've got 180, so 200 and 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. Carry on. I'm doing math here.
Sure. Did you have another question, Patchwork?
How
Oh, right, your
how
amulet.
rare is the amulet? Is it 1, 2, or 3?
It's 1.
Okay, so I get a +1 on spell attack and my spell DC.
Yes.
That's cool. That's very cool.
You can also use your channel divinity once per, I think, day. Yeah,
Yeah,
once
next
till
one.
day
Yeah,
without
one
losing it.
Per day.
So you get 2 channel divinities
That's
effectively.
so great. Oh man.
So cool. Did I say what god that was to?
Not yet.
Let me roll that. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. So it is a amulet to one of the pillars of nature, which would make sense since it was being held by the druids. You don't have to worship that pillar for it to work. Okay, so we got that.
I'm gonna write that down anyway.
Alright, so yeah, you're brewing a potion today. Patchwork, Quentin. Ahoto would say, I don't have too much else going on, so if you'd like to work on a potion for your group, we can together. It'll make it quicker.
Yeah, definitely. Can we possibly do like the superior healing one?
So
Maybe?
that one, I mean, if you have enough components, but I believe that one takes quite a while, doesn't it?
I don't know, how long does it take?
Here, what's the rarity on it?
Superior is, give me a second, I'll search it on Beyond.
Quentin should be aware that Patchwork probably has more, so she could lend him some. Or maybe, she's... I have essence, not components. My components are used for the potion.
Yeah, I mean, multiple people can work on a project.
Rare. The superior healing potion is rare.
Rare? So let's see. How many weeks does that take? I'll look it up in the compendium one moment. Downtime. Describe a spell. Potion of healing creation. Let's see. Rare superior healing is 15 days.
Okay.
And it's 1,000 G or 1,000 Maho worth of components to make.
Right, okay then.
We did get a long rest.
Yeah,
while
you
we were
did.
staying on the growth, right?
Yeah.
So I will just, whatever potion she wants to work on, we'll work on that.
She says, "Well, I'm willing to work on whatever you want. If we get your friend, if she is a brewer as well, we can make the potions much quicker with all three of us working. I don't know how long it'll take the druid to respond to the animal that was sent, but if it takes a while, well, you'll at least have this project started. You could always finish it elsewhere."
Yeah, definitely. Like, we'll go get Patchwork and we'll try working on it, and if she wants to, we can see what we get.
Well, Patchwork, you would find, is working on a healing potion today, so I'm assuming she's going to be unavailable.
Yeah, probably in the middle of doing something really complicated at the moment.
Yeah, so do you want to work on a greater healing, a superior healing, or something else?
We'll do a greater healing.
Okay, so go ahead and record that project and spend 100 worth of components. And you can record that in the projects.
One moment. I can't change my spell save DC and my spell attack bonus manually. How do I do that?
There's a setting for that. If you go to the cog, I believe, you can set. Yeah, make sure it didn't do it itself, and if it didn't, then yeah, you can go to the settings for your character, and I believe there's a place there to adjust your DCs.
I
What's the
can't
date
find it
today?
at the moment, but
Here, I'll take a look. Patchwork. Losing my voice here. Patchwork spell save DC mod. It's the top left. It's currently set to 0.
there.
There's
yeah.
also global magic attack modifier, which I think is the other thing your amulet does, right?
Yeah, I get a +1 to attack bonus and spell save DC.
So try setting those both to 1 and see what that does.
All right. Yep.
And
How do I save? Do I need to save?
it should just save. You if you leave this tab, it'll.
Yeah, it worked. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah, what about Elise? Or not Elise? What about oh yeah, it is Elise. What about Elise? Does she have any project she wants to do, or is she just kind of hanging out here?
I don't think there's anything really for her to do. I mean, she can't brew potions. She can't really.
Yeah, I guess in this place, do you have so you don't have herbalism, do you have nature or anything like that?
No, she's a city girl.
Let's see. Yeah, they probably wouldn't have a library here.
No, I mean if there is, then she'll sit around and do some reading. But I mean, if there's not, then she's got a book that she can occupy her time with.
All right. So time is passing as you wait for the druid's reply. Let me see. So after the first day, you would finish your healing potion patchwork. What would you do after that? I'll say a day passes. I'll just pass that. So yeah, it's the 44th. So you can put, so when you have multiple people working on a project, Quentin, you can put multiple days worth. So you would get 2 days towards your grader.
I'd probably join Elise, so she isn't quite so alone. Maybe.
Okay.
Just sit with her, maybe talk a bit.
Okay. So
You're sitting with Elise, or?
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice of her. Nice of her.
So Patchwork joins Elise. It's very peaceful here. The druids do their normal hunting, but other than that, they're fairly social and nice to you all. You get the chance to talk to multiple lizard folk as
That's cool.
Yeah.
they're going about their day.
Can I ask Patchwork to make an insight check on Elise? Or what's your passive insight?
I have passive insight of 16. Like, I think Patchwork trusts Elise enough to not actively. Yeah, no. To not actively look in, like.
Nah,
Expect
you
expect
might see
anything
that-
malicious.
Yeah, no, I think Elise, to you, Elise looks a bit tense and like maybe a little bit unwary, but you figure that maybe she's just uncomfortable being in the woods or something. She's not into camping.
She misses the city. All right, so another day is going to pass quietly. So go ahead and put progress towards your project. And you're not finished yet, right? I think you need one more day. Is that right,
How many
Quentin?
days does it take? How many days does it take for a greater?
Greater is 1 work week, so 5 days.
Okay, yeah, so just one more.
Okay, so yeah,
If
go ahead.
Patchwork knows this, she might join them and see if she can still help with anything.
At this point, they're almost done. Here, let me just pass that next day. So it's the 45th. Yeah, so you would see that they're almost done. They probably don't need help to finish today. But you could always work on something else if you want, or yeah, just keep hanging out with Elise.
One second, I need to. So I lost 25 the nature components, right?
Yeah, for a regular healing potion, it's 25 to create. Generally, it would also take a bottle, but I'll say that
I
they
had some.
okay. Well, I'll say they gave them to you, so you don't have to spend them.
Oh, I had 2 empty bottles left because I always ask the others to give them back to me once they've used them.
Yeah.
But I won't say no to more empty bottles, so if they want to give me some, I'll gladly take them.
So Hoto will say Quentin can finish the potion today by himself. If you have another project you want to work on, I can help you with that, as long as it's alchemy related or herbalism.
Oh, well, on the way here, we found some blue glowing moss in a cave. And I've been having some trouble with converting them to nature components. So if you would like to help me with that, I would be happy.
Says, oh yeah, well that doesn't take too long. We could probably get that done in about an hour. She looks at the moss and she says, yeah, no, I recognize it. So yeah, if you guys want to try to convert, go ahead and roll a herbalism. And I'll use the higher of your 2 rolls.
One second. Well.
Oh, natural 20. All right, so
Wait, no.
she...
What kind of... I'm seeing an 11 and a 10.
Oh yeah, I rolled for her, not you.
Oh.
So she sees you kind of stumbling and gives you some pointers. And how much were you converting?
50 Maggio?
50? Alright, so she would be able to perfectly convert, so you would gain 50 nature components.
I am going to thank her and explain that I've never seen this kind of moss before.
Says, yeah, I would imagine you don't come from the swamplands, do you? I haven't seen anyone like you before.
No, I try to avoid humid places so I don't rust.
She says, you seem very human for one made of stone. It's very, yeah, it's interesting to meet someone or something, I guess. I don't know. I guess you're a someone, right?
I think so, yeah. I'm not sure if I have a soul or anything, but I have memories to some extent, so...
Says, well, I don't know about souls, but all creatures have life essence given to them by Mother Gaia. Gaia constantly moves life essence back and forth as creatures come and go from the world back into its embrace. She says, I've never heard of how the church believes souls work, but I feel like we druids have a better understanding of things.
Well, as far as I know, I can't remember much. I remember waking up only a few months ago, but there has been... My body could be much older. Cycles old. But I don't really remember much.
Yeah, I guess if you're made of stone, stone takes a long time to break down. That would make sense. That's amazing.
It's some weird kind of metal. Many people don't actually know what it is. Some dwarves might know, but
give me a persuasion check on that.
That was unintentional, but sure.
All right.
All right.
So she gets a little bit weird as you're talking about this. You think, well, she tries to hide it, but your insight kind of picks up that maybe something you said bothered her a little. And she just kind of nods and says, "It's amazing all the different things that can exist through Gaian's will." And she just kind of leaves it at that and goes back to her potion craft.
Huh.
Again, though, you felt like maybe something you said either made her uncomfortable or, upset her in some way.
She's like the wraiths. She doesn't like the unnatural parts.
All right. Well, this day would pass. So go ahead and finish your greater healing potion, Quentin.
Yeah.
And towards the end of the day, you would receive a raven. Actually, I guess the head druid would receive it. And he would come to you and say, "The archdruid plans to meet us here tomorrow. He wants to speak with you, Quentin." It's quite an honor.
Which one? Which one? There's quite a few Quintons.
Oh, you, Quentin. The one who helped save everyone.
Right, gotcha. Okay.
He says, "I hope it was okay that I told him a bit about your background. I figured the archdruid should know what's going on."
Yeah, I mean, not really much to tell. I got found in a forest and then raised by a cleric of nature, by a cleric who worships Melora.
Oh, I was more talking about what happened to you with turning into a dragon.
Did we tell him that? I don't think we told him that.
You didn't tell him that, but he apparently knows. Someone may have
Okay.
told him.
Other Quentin.
Yeah, you know the other Quentin was with you, so it's very possible the
Right.
other Quentin told him.
Right, okay, yes, Yeah, okay. I need to go and have a talk with Quentin.
Hey, Quentin, too, keep your goddamn mouth shut.
Quentin, keep your fucking trap shut about what Quentin does!
Oh. Maybe it was Selena, you're not sure. But yeah, he apparently knows.
He's a bit like, okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, no, totally fine.
So,
Okay.
Flintwing would come to you at this point during the evening and say, "This is a strange group of druids. I know the Fey druids act much differently. Like, where's their grand hall for food and their libraries of old knowledge? Just a bunch of trees everywhere."
The Feywilds have druids?
Oh, yeah. He says druids are a huge deal over there.
We are going. Okay, we are going. You are taking me to the Feywilds at least once. I want to go.
He says, "Yeah, no, I can, wait, did I pass the day? Hang on.
We're on the 44th now.
Okay, so it should be the evening of the 45th. Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay. So he says, "Yeah, no, the druids there hold a lot of sway. They are keepers of nature, and the nature of the Feywild is vast and very powerful."
Oh, yeah, no, let's go there.
Says, well, we have to find a way to get back there. It's not like I can just open up a portal.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, actually, do you mind if I stay with you for now? I feel like you have a better handle on everything
Yeah, no, like I
than
totally-
a lot of these
yeah,
people.
Quentin's trying to play it really cool. Like, yeah, no, totally. Like, you can, hang around. It'd be great. Like, yeah, it'd be
I
like
mean-
my.
Don't you want to stay with other druids? I mean, or the druids?
Is that
You
is
know,
that Elise?
druids.
Yeah.
Elise is just like listening to this.
Oh yeah, she's always there.
It would say no. I think like I said, these druids are kind of weird. No libraries, no feasting halls, nothing interesting. They just live in the forest. I mean,
Not
that's
gonna lie.
fine, but
Even compared to my home, which isn't very druidy, this is not. I'm gonna like whisper it to Elise. Go. This is very rustic.
Quite.
Yes, quaint. That's the word.
as well.
You know, like
Maybe this archdruid has some more grand accommodations. Maybe he has like a palace or something. Would be nice to.
Yeah, I don't get the feeling that they'd have a palace in a swamp.
Well, I mean, I like this place, but I have a feeling that if I stay here too long, I might start to rust.
Or
Yeah, it
creepy.
is a bit humid. Flintwing says, kind of getting some of the dew off him. He says, definitely would rather be somewhere with less moisture.
On the bright side,
This
it's helping
isn't
to
much
shed.
better.
On the bright
All
side,
the
it's helping you
sand gets
shed your
into the
scales.
joint.
Sorry.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
no,
Will.
I was just complaining about sand in the desert because it gets into my joints. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. It'd be interesting to find a desert. Humid or arid sounds nice at this point.
And it's just like, yeah, but it's helping you shed your skin. Like, look at you, like, you know, the old skin, you're shedding skin. It's coming off really easy with the moisture. It's really good.
You talking to Flintwing?
Yeah.
Your scales have never looked better here. Perhaps you should stay here.
Both of you give me persuasion checks.
I'm not trying to get him to stay. I'm just complimenting him. I don't want him to stay. I want him to come with me. I
No.
like having him.
You'd be rolling for something else.
Okay, I still get an advantage because he's a dragon.
Yeah.
So persuasion.
He says, "Oh, that was nice of you to notice." He says, "Yeah, I'm liking how these new scales are coming in. And as for staying, like I said, it's way too rustic for me. I'm never gonna find a way back to the Feywild in this dump." And he says that louder than he probably should have.
Elise just smiles politely.
Can't say stuff like that around people when they're living here. Like, these people like it. Not nice to be like that.
I mean,
What? Oh,
I
so
would like
yeah.
it too
Sorry,
if I had a different body.
I'm not one of these fake court diplomats. I know there's certain ways you're supposed to talk about people's homes. I don't know. If my home was a dump, I'd say my home's a dump. He shrugs. And as for you, trickster, looking to Elise, he says, "Stop trying to get me to stay here. I'm on to your tricks."
Out loud?
Yeah. Well, he just called you a trickster. That's all he said.
He's giving us promise.
I'll say that.
Maybe, like, hey, Flintwing, come here. Like, just stay close to me for a bit because Elise doesn't like being called a name. It's not a nice thing.
Elisa's smile just goes really hard.
Yeah, see.
Like it's about to break.
Flintwing, look, I need to teach you how to behave. Elise is a maid, so she needs to maintain a certain standard of reputation, and calling her a trickster is very bad career-wise for her.
What did you say? She was a maid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks at her and she says, "Oh, a maid, huh? I bet." Again,
Yes,
testing
like,
the limits of your smile.
Okay, fine. She's not a maid right now, but you know that's her career. She's a maid, and it's a good career. It's a honest job. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. But I feel that sullying a reputation by calling her a trickster, if anyone tries to hire her, it could get back and it could suffer. So maybe just hold off on calling her. If you're gonna call her names, do it telepathically into her head. That's fine.
Are you
There's only-
encouraging him to bully me?
Hey, I'm trying to get him to stop saying it out loud. Work with me on this.
How about getting him to stop at all?
How about we take small victories? We'll build to the big ones. Small victories.
Wow, Quentin, I thought you were my friend.
All right, so the thing just looks right at you, Elise, and sends you a message. But anyway,
Takes a very deep breath and just.
yeah.
Hey,
All right.
I'm getting him to keep your secret and not risk people finding out. How about you just work with me on that?
Oh yeah, I guess out of character, you both know
You know.
already, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Well, out of character, yeah, everybody knows. But
No, Patchwork knows. Patchwork has seen Elise transform once or twice.
yeah, but you don't know how or why. You just know that she you just know that she's told everybody that she's able to do that using a magic spell.
Well,
Yeah, the only way
Patchwork-
you
Yeah,
don't have
one time-
nature knowledge, do you,
One time
Patchwork?
when Elise turned into a dwarf
That was
in the
Arcana.
tunnels, she saw that
Yeah.
Elise did it without magic.
Do you have well, to know about your, I guess, yeah, do you have nature knowledge, Patchwork?
Yes.
Do you have Arcana?
Nature.
I don't have
An
Arcana.
Arcana check.
Yeah, so you don't know anything in nature that could do such things. So you'd probably still be a little bit curious as to how she does it. Especially if you saw her doing it without a spell. But yeah, then again, there's a lot about the arcane that you don't know.
Oh yeah. By the way, guys, I don't know if you've noticed, but well, earlier I was talking with Ahoto for a bit, and she seemed to be bothered by me mentioning that I am made out of metal, or maybe, well, there's three things, like either me being out of metal, something about dwarves, or me being pretty old. But she seemed really bothered by it. It's weird, and people here have been calling me stone person instead of metal. Which
Are there any
I'm
dwarves
pretty
in
obviously
the camp?
I'm pretty obviously not made out of stone. I,
Uh,
do you have
th-
any-
go ahead. Sorry.
I have a feeling there's some tension there, maybe, but I don't know why.
All right. To answer your question, Elise, I put it in chat. You haven't met any dwarves here.
Do I know of any possible like either dwarven communities or historic or ruins of some kind in the area that might have crossed paths with these guys?
And do you have nature knowledge?
I don't have nature, but I have history.
Yeah, I guess you can give me a history check, see if you know anything about the swamplands. You don't know of any. I mean, there are people that move through the lands all the time. It's very possible a dwarven trading caravan could have come through at some point, but you don't know of any dwarven settlements this far south. Most of the dwarves live up in the mountains or within the human empires.
Either now or in history has there ever been?
Since the reemergence, none that you know of. The dwarves haven't come this far south. I mean,
Okay.
unless they interact with them through some other cycle in another land, but you don't know anything about this Druid Grove meeting with some dwarven entourage at any point that you can remember.
All right. Elise will just pat Patchwork on the shoulder and just say, "It's okay. If you would like, I can find out for you."
If that wouldn't be a bother,
Not at all.
I would appreciate
I'm
that.
just. It gives me something to do.
Yeah, because I was just talking with her. I don't know if I said something wrong.
Yeah, no, of course. I doubt you said anything wrong. It might just be something. It might. I mean, obviously you don't know. So let me find out for you.
Thank you.
Alright, so it's pretty late in the evening, but you could probably go speak to someone if you want. Or do you want to wait till tomorrow?
I can wait until tomorrow, but I am curious. Does Quentin notice that Flintwing is carrying around a pearl that he didn't have like several days ago?
Like, is Flintwing carrying it around, or is he like invisible most of the time? So I wouldn't know anyway.
He's mostly invisible. But what's your passive perception?
23.
Oh. You might notice every now and then him palming something. Like he is playing with something in his hand. He's trying to keep it hidden. You could probably recognize.
Right, I'll make a note.
Yeah, he has a shiny pearl.
And be like, okay, that's in class a bit later. Quentin, I'm guessing like on the nights the Druid Grove like does the whole traditional like native tribe thing where they all come around a fire and they tell stories. Quentin's definitely like trying to soak all that in, trying to take as much history or culture that he can, considering he's never grown up with it, and like trying to learn as much. But he is definitely going to go and like ask a load of people after Patchwork said that, like not to the person that Patchwork spoke to, but just generally around the druids and just or the people, and just like ask what they know about dwarves, dwarvish empires, like have you ever heard of stuff like Patchwork?
Who are you asking?
I'm just asking, like generally, like throughout the night as they're telling stories and stuff, the people in the tribe. No one specifically, just a bunch of different people to try and get different reactions.
Yeah, sure. Give me I guess persuasion. Or give me charisma for that. It's less persuasion and just interactions.
Charisma.
Which I guess is the same for you. So you pretty much unanimously get the answer that they don't encounter things like Warforged this far south. Like I don't think any of them have ever seen anything like Patchwork.
But I don't get the feeling that any of them are that there's no hostile reaction to anything like a Warforged or a Dwarven construct type thing.
No, they don't.
Okay.
They don't seem like they're angry when they talk about Warforged or Patchwork.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, and then like I said, the rest of it's just soaking up as much culture, as much history, as much lore, druid-wise as I can.
All right. So it is the next morning, the 46th of fall. Are any of you? Let's see. Oh, no, or Elise, you said you want to do something, right?
Yeah, I was gonna go talk to Ahoda.
All right. So Ahote is in the alchemy labs, kind of taking some inventory. When you see her, she smiles and greets you warmly. She says, I don't know if Patchwork showed you, or sorry, I don't know if Quentin showed you the potion we made together. Hopefully it comes in handy for you all.
Absolutely, I'm sure it will. Listen, I wanted to talk to you about something quickly. Patchwork.
Or wait,
mentioned
sorry,
that
a
there was something-
Hoto. It's a Hote.
Hoto? Hota.
Oh, yes? What did you need?
Yeah, Patchwork mentioned that you were talking yesterday, and she sensed a little bit of tension there. I was wondering if there's a problem, if you have a problem with her, or if there's an issue.
So she gets a little red. She says, "Oh, what do you mean? No, I'm sorry if I gave her that impression. And she just kind of looks really embarrassed.
And she can be quite sensitive about these things.
No, she seems lovely. She's very interesting.
She mentioned something about dwarves and metal. And I'm just like, kind of poking, not poking, like physically poking her, but I'm kind of like poking her to see, like, if I get any.
Not with your passive insight, but I guess give me an active insight. Let's see if you can sense anything.
No.
She seems a little embarrassed now, like she said something wrong and maybe offended Patchwork, but you don't get any feeling or indication of maybe what that was about. she would just say, no, I thought Patchwork was a very interesting. I had never seen anything like her before. I'm sorry if I gave her the impression that I was upset or didn't like her.
Oh, don't be sorry. I mean, sometimes communication gets crossed, and we don't always say what we mean.
Says, yeah.
We say.
Well, tell her that, no, I think she's lovely. She seems very interesting.
All right. Well, and if you ever have an issue with any of us, please come talk to me, and I'm sure I can help sort things out.
Oh, yeah, no issues. You all seem very interesting. Coming from or helping save Quentin and all the different abilities you have. It's not every day you meet people like you. But yeah, I'll definitely keep that in mind if any of you, I don't know, do something to upset me.
Of course. Thank you, and I appreciate the chat. At least I'll be.
All right. So yeah, you didn't get much out of that conversation in terms of like what she may have been hiding, if she was hiding anything.
This feels like a parent-teacher conference.
It does, doesn't it?
So, Patchwork, I went round and I've asked all the tribes people, some druids and that. They don't have an issue with Warforged or Dwarves, so there's nothing in a general sense unless it's more specific to her. At least you had. Yeah.
I didn't get anything from her. I mean, she seemed apologetic that she made you feel like she was.
Wait, you went to her and asked her?
Yeah.
I thought you wanted to. Okay.
I talked to her. She seemed, she again was apologetic, but I mean, I didn't get any sense of tension or anything there.
I better go ask Ahoto if there's anything I need to do, because apparently I'm meeting the big Archdruid today, so I better go ask if there's anything I should know. Rituals, cultural stuff, and I'll go and find Ahoto.
Yeah. Maybe it was just something personal in her, and maybe I just reminded her of something.
All right.
Or maybe you were tired and didn't and misunderstood.
Yeah, it just reminded me of what the wraiths keep saying.
What did the wraiths keep saying?
What was it? Something about false life,
Yeah, that was it.
not real life. Which, I mean, is fair. I'm not really a natural organism. I'm more of a mechanism.
You do. And yet you have life, as far as we're aware.
Well, the definition of life is a bit different, but well, that area is a bit grey anyway, because wait, do people in these times have knowledge of bacteria and viruses?
No.
Probably not.
Ah, too bad. Because, well, I do believe that I am a person.
People probably still don't wash their hands.
With a soul or something similar to a soul, but you can't really call me alive, I think.
All right.
Well, that is a question for another time.
All right.
It's all just philosophy. What is life? What isn't? Let's not worry about the big questions and focus on the little ones for a change.
Oh, then let's prepare to meet the Archdruid.
All right. So if you go talk to Ahoto, she's in the lab. She's just kind of organizing things. She would welcome you and say, "We're gonna work on another potion."
No. I wanted to ask, because I'm meant to be meeting the big archdruid today. Is there anything, obviously, not growing up in a druid grove or anything like that? Is there anything I should do, like ritual, custom, say anything, act anyway, bow, curtsy, do somersaults, when I meet them?
She says, "Oh wow, you're meeting him directly? I thought he was just going to send messages to us. I don't know. I've never actually met the Archdruid, and I don't think anyone beyond the Elder has. So yeah, your guess is as good as mine."
Okay, so there's nothing like that. Okay, cool. So there's nothing you get commonly known, so I don't need to worry.
She thinks for a moment. She says, "Custom wise, I don't think. I mean, I'm guessing you would want to show him respect, as you'd want to show any elder that you meet. Maybe more so than a normal elder, but
I
yeah."
mean, like, growing old isn't an accomplishment; it's just a biological function. So,
She says, "No, but growing old and becoming an archdruid is definitely an accomplishment."
well, I suppose it depends how you become an archdruid. Do you become an archdruid by doing things, or do you become an archdruid just by growing old?
No, there's definitely, actually, it can be downright, dangerous for people trying to become archdruid. There's times of conflict where druids of great power will clash, sometimes resulting in the deaths of some of them, other times, some of them backing down and relinquishing power. I believe Uthe has held power for quite some time. No one's really challenged her.
Okay, so with that in mind, you are definitely right. I will. I didn't know if it was just something you get from hitting a certain age.
Says no, it's like a pack of or like the pack of lions. The one with the most power generally takes hold, but still hold respect for those that do not seek the accomplishment.
No, entirely.
And
Like, yeah. Thank you for telling me that. Yeah, no. There's a lot I don't know, so it's nice
she
to be
says,
told.
yeah, it's not often. Like druids aren't constantly competing for power, but it does happen every few decades where people will step forward and challenge the archdruid. And yeah, Uthe has held power for a long time. Also, no one's really challenged her because she's done a good job. So I think a lot of the druids have. Or go ahead.
I wonder if which one's older, Patchwork or Uthe?
Oh,
Patchwork doesn't know.
that's a good question. I if she comes from older cycles, probably Patchwork. Uthe is still made of flesh, although Elven, they can only last so long.
Potentially. But, Patchwork could be older than them, which would be really interesting. And, considering that, I mean, can you imagine if Patchwork became like an archdruid and as a warforged, like, she's lived through cycles, so she could be like a uber archdruid who lives through countless cycles, and yeah.
Give me a persuasion. She says, well, Patchwork does not follow our beliefs as far as I was aware. She's not a druid herself. One has to be a druid to challenge the archdruid.
See, here's the thing. She has started to ask me stuff, and I've tried to try and teach her things, what I know. So she is kind of heading down that path, but she is naturally, or when she awoke, a cleric, but she doesn't realize it, but she's still connected to nature through Melora. Like, that's who she's connected to, deity-wise.
She says, I'm not familiar with this deity. Is this an or a spirit of Gaian, or what is this?
So, kind of, okay. So, technically, Melora is basically the Wild Mother, so she kind of represents nature. So,
I wonder if this is a different name for Mother Gaian, perhaps worshipped.
Could be.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Yeah, maybe if Patchwork wished to go down that route and challenged one of the elders, though Uthe, as I said, has done a pretty good job holding things together.
So you can be like a newbie druid and challenge an archdruid and become an archdruid?
She laughs. She says, "You could be, but such a thing would be ridiculous. The druids would probably just laugh at you."
But if you beat the archdruid that no one else has beaten, then really they can't laugh at you because you won.
Yes, but how would one of such little power beat the archdruid?
Just because you haven't got a lot of druid doesn't mean you're not powerful. Like, you can be powerful in anything.
She says, "Perhaps, I don't know, but from what I've known of the archdruids, it takes many decades of study and honing one's abilities to have any chance of standing up to such a force of nature. I suppose I could have my mind changed, it's just I've never seen such a thing."
So, for instance, if Patchwork did become an archdruid, you'd like be totally down for following one who's lived through cycles, right?
Give me a persuasion check.
I am fishing hard on this.
This is getting philosophical.
I am fishing hard on this and failing drastically.
She says, I don't know. Patchwork, she's not all natural, though. I mean, is it natural for Mother Gaian to bestow life force on such a creature that is not born and dies like the natural cycles?
I mean, you say that, but define natural.
She says, the cycle, of course. Birth, death, the balance. Were you not taught these things in your grove?
No, I'm taught life and death, but I'm also taught that there are exceptions to everything. Dragons are ancient beings that can transcend anything.
Dragons still are born and die. I mean, the old ones have lived through several cycles, but I mean, they still follow the cycle.
We don't know Patchwork won't die. We just know Patchwork has lived through cycles. There's nothing that says Patchwork will never die, and there's nothing that says Patchwork will die.
Give me a persuasion check.
And
or just charisma. Okay.
Patchwork would probably... Actually, she would probably try to look for a Hoto to clarify some things too, so...
Well, you're not there at the moment, but...
yeah, but she's on the way.
Hoto seems like she's getting a little bit annoyed to you. She says, well, undead don't die, but we don't revere them because they don't have the ability to fall to dust. They're abominations. Not saying that your friend is abomination, but I'm just saying that the cycle should be respected. If it is not, then like what are we even fighting to uphold if everything suddenly does not die? And she just seems kind of flustered. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Like, I just think you're a bit too hung up on this concept of a cycle and order when nature in its fundamental is chaos. Unpredictable, it's primordial. It doesn't. You have cycles, but you also have chaos. Like, you have wildfires and typhoons and hurricanes and everything. It's not ordered. It's chaotic at best.
Give me a charisma check at disadvantage.
It's cool. It's persuasion or charisma is the same for me, so no difference. 13.
She kind of sighs. She says, I suppose, but I feel like it is our job as druids to protect the order and the balance. Chaos is but one side of things. The order that we create is also important to behold and to...
Oh, you're right.
She says, if everything were just to fall back to chaos, then Mother Gaian would perish.
You're right. Order is important, but so is chaos. And part of chaos is unpredictable things happening. And it works. Patchwork, for one way or another, is or isn't unpredictable. The same way as undead appear naturally. Like, there are places where undead are just naturally occurring. It doesn't make them right or wrong. Like, they're them. Also, Patchwork isn't something created by Gaian. Patchwork is something that fundamentally probably is created by wolves.
which
As
is no
well.
different to people created by gods.
I wouldn't
It's the same
say Patchwork is chaos. More the opposite. She seems more based in order, just with the um, with the uh, with the side note that she does not die. And at that point, Patchwork would kind of walk in, and Ahoto would kind of go a little quiet and just look away and go back to what she was doing. Oh, hi, Patchwork.
Did I interrupt something?
No,
No.
we were just having a discussion.
She was just explaining to me how when I meet the Archdruid, I should be respectful and bow and courteous and everything. I need to go see the Elder to see if he knows anything about what I should do. Yeah, no, I will leave you two to chat, I'm guessing. Just don't bash her brains in, please, Patchwork. I know how violent you are.
What?
What?
She
It's
looks
a
a little
joke.
bit concerned.
It's a
Is this
joke.
a joke? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
joke. Ha 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 ha. You're
Well.
not violent. You're very.
I don't get sarcasm sometimes.
It's fine. Not a lot of people do.
Did you need any help with anything, Patchwork? She says
I
now,
need help.
obviously kind of nervous and
I leave.
Elise told me that she came to talk to you, and I wanted to apologize because I'm not upset with you. I was just worried that I had upset you. Because I don't know. Because I thought,
you didn't upset me. I'm not sure what Elise was referring to, but no, not.
you seemed a bit bothered to me, and I thought maybe I had upset you. So I asked the others if maybe something I said could have offended someone here, because yeah, I'm aware I'm not exactly the most natural being, and that's probably weird for druids. But
Oh, no. I'm sorry if I gave you the impression that I was upset. Yeah, no, it's fine. You are, you didn't choose to. You are what you are, and you should be proud of that. It sounds like you've accomplished many things. And she still seems a little uncomfortable. You could tell because you have a really high passive passive insight. She may, you may sense that whatever her and Quentin were talking about got her a little flustered, and she is not doing as well hiding her feelings.
yeah, on that note, I'm sorry if Quentin upset you. He is not the most sensitive person sometimes.
Oh no, that's it's fine. I just forget that people have different teachings, and it's not often that anyone argues about the cycle of life and death and the things that we protect. So perhaps I got more defensive than I should have.
Well, if it means anything to you, I'm also confused about my existence as well, because I'm aware I'm not exactly alive, but I'm still a person, which is really confusing most of the time.
She says, "Oh, I don't know about not being
Yeah,
alive. You seem living to me. You're
I'm
not
not what I meant
flesh,
with that is, yeah, I'm not organic.
but
But what you said reminded me of some things some wraiths I have encountered have said to me, which is why I perhaps worried more than I should have.
She says, well,
Um,
I don't know if being, if you must be flesh to be living. I mean, not all things created by Mother Gaian are flesh, yet they all still hold her spark.
That's a nice thought, because I do have a spark, and I motion to my chest and eyes.
She nods and says, yeah, I mean, you just have a spark that was maybe entrusted to you by someone else other than Gaian herself, but it seems like you're using her spark to maintain the balance, which is what matters to uphold the tenets of life and death. And at least from what I've heard of you, you seem like a very good, a very noble humanoid.
Who is this Gaian? Is that like the Wild Mother?
Oh yes, I can talk about Gaian. And she would just start going into a spew of facts about Mother Gaian and her beliefs, if you want to sit there and listen.
Yeah, I would like to listen.
All right, so yeah, she just starts talking about her teachings and what the Druids believe, and gives you some more information about the World Mother, which sounds kind of similar to the goddess you worship, which I think is also nature-based, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds very similar to the teachings of what you remember of your cleric order. But
Yeah.
unless you want to roleplay that, I'm just going to pass some time. So
It's just, I have, in the time I have traveled together with Quentin, I have discovered some new things I can do that I don't remember. But they come to me sometimes. It's like muscle memory, perhaps.
this is you talking to her.
Yeah, I would like to druid craft a white lily.
All right, so you cast Druidcraft, kind of surprising her. She says, yes, that is druidic magic.
I have discovered new things I can do, which
She says, that's
sounds similar
amazing.
to what you have told me. So maybe there is some connection there too.
She says, maybe. Perhaps you should talk to the Elder about these powers. He might be able to give you some guidance. Do you wish to stay here for a while, or do you and your friends plan to leave soon?
Well, if my friends plan to leave, then I will leave with them.
She says, well,
But
if you're wishing to learn more about the ways of our people, then yeah, I would say speak to the Elder.
But it is nice to have confirmation, because I wasn't sure if this was druid related or just
She says,
something
no,
else.
I recognize the magic. That is definitely power linked to the Earth Mother. So, wonder how your spark was infused with such energy. All right, so I'll say you two continue talking for a bit, but we haven't heard from Elise in a while.
I was gonna say, I think Elise is just sitting, reading her book, trying desperately to ignore Flintwing's telepathic taunts.
Yeah, now he's probably taunting you every now and then.
Yeah.
All right, so Quentin, you're gonna try to talk to the Elder, but he seems to be gone at the moment. And while waiting for him, you would hear a bit of some activity out in the yard. And actually, Elise, as you're sitting there reading your book, an old gnarled-looking raven comes floating down from above, and as it touches the ground, it would transform into a person. At which point, all the druids sort of stop what they're doing and look over, coming over to meet this person. The woman stands at about 5'4", kind of a smaller lady, with a bunch of brambles and other bits of plant in her hair and kind of scattered about her. She looks around at everyone, kind of pale blue eyes, and she says, where is the one called Quentin?
Does Quentin
Which-
too raise
which
his
one?
hand?
Yeah, a bunch of Quentins walk over. I am Quentin. She says, I was not told there were multiple of you. She looks
So
around.
I didn't walk over.
Not yet. I think you're still up. You heard the commotion, but you're still on your way over. The woman would kind of look over at Elise now, maybe a bit of surprise when she sees you.
All these druids know who you are.
For fuck's sake.
She kind of walks over towards you and says, you are one of the outsiders, yes?
That's correct. Quentin should be down here any moment.
Oh, excellent. I am Archdruid Uthe. Don't know if Sethic spoke of me, but I was given word that your people wish to talk to me about something.
Yes. My name's Elise Hale. There's been quite a few interesting things that have come up in the last little bit that would be, I imagine Quentin is very keen to.
Yes, nigh him. Do you mind if I sit with you a bit?
Of course, please. Have a
She would
seat.
kind of,
Would you,
go ahead.
can I get you some tea or water?
Says, oh, tea would be lovely. Could you all give us a moment of privacy? And the druid's like, oh yes, of course, Elder. And they all kind of walk away. So she sits there with a smile as she waits for you to finish brewing the tea.
Yeah, at least I'll make her some tea and have a seat with her. Oh, tell me, what, I guess based off of the initial message that was sent, I'm unclear of what was originally sent, unfortunately. Do you have any insight for us?
She says, well, if what I was told is true, then you have encountered some of the... What did I say they were called?
Fires of Dawn.
Yeah, some of the druids of the Fires of Dawn. And your friend was taken prisoner along with several others like him. I have some insights on this.
Good. Yes, it was odd. They were controlling monstrosities rather than beasts, which I know the druids in our group mostly deal with.
Deal with? What do you mean?
Not deal with. That's not the right word. I guess gain power from or get aid from beasts more so than monstrosity.
She says, yes.
I'm not a druid myself.
Long ago, our kind did have some power over the more dangerous creations of Mother Gaian, but such powers were deemed profane, and our foremothers took us away from such practices. Though some retain the abilities through their own studies and passing on of the old ways. It's something that we seek to get rid of permanently, but so far we have not been able to.
And what about dragons?
She says, that's actually something I wish to talk to your friend about, too. I had heard he was able to transform into one.
Yes, I've never known him to do it until recently. He touched some sort of black stone obelisk.
An obelisk, you say?
Yes.
Could you describe this black stone to me?
And she'll describe it in great detail.
Give me an Arcana check. Or Nature. Either of these. Either of those would help.
Arcana.
Alright, so you're describing the stone, and she kind of nods as you do. Quentin, you kind of come walking over at this point. She turns her head and says,
I've been just staying with the other people, but in an angle where I can lip read them. so that I know what's being said. So I'm gonna let them guys carry on for a little bit, and then like because I'm not 100% sure I trust this woman yet.
Give me a
'Cause
give me a stealth check.
I don't know if this is the Archdruid or if this is one of the people from the grove we've just fled.
Okay. So, she seems deep in thought as you describe this Blackstone obelisk. She says, so he touched this stone and was then somehow able to turn into into a dragon.
Correct.
Fascinating. There are legends of druids who were able to embody the essence of the great worms, but no such druid has been seen in a very long time.
Yes, we also came across an interesting ritual. I believe the druids were attempting to open up a portal to to the Grove of the Oasis, perhaps. Anyways, we found a fairy dragon there as well.
Ah, creature of the Fae.
Correct.
She looks at you a little curiously. Give me an insight check.
Shit, does she know?
Probably.
Probably. 11.
So she looks like she's about to say something, but then she stops herself and says, well, it's quite surprising to see creatures of the Fae in Gaian. It's not something that you encounter often. I should probably speak to this fairy dragon as well, see what part he has to play. Perhaps something to do with your friend's acquired powers.
Perhaps.
Is
sure he's
Quentin around
somewhere.
here? She kind of looks around as she sips her tea.
He should be around here somewhere. I mean, they told me he was. I thought they said he was coming.
So she looks over towards you at this point, Quentin, as you're kind of hiding a little behind some people. You see her notice you and stare at you for a moment, but she doesn't say anything, almost like she just kind of curiously regards you. Then she turns back towards Elise and she says, well, I am enjoying this tea, so I suppose waiting a bit longer will not kill me.
Can I insight check her to make sure she is the Archdruid and not one of the people from the grove that just kidnapped 3 of us, faking it and or
I mean, you haven't really spoken to her. It would be hard to insight that just from looking at her.
okay.
I mean, does the information that I'm giving her sound familiar to her, or is it all brand new information? I guess would be a good insight check.
So it's hard to get a read on her. She's actually pretty good at hiding her, not her thoughts, but she doesn't have any obvious tells, which is something that kind of surprises you. As a druid, you would think she wouldn't be as good at this type of thing, but she seems very nice, very polite. She doesn't give you any indication that she is angry or upset. She's just kind of enthusiastically listening to you as you tell her things. Almost like she has some abilities as a diplomat, which would make sense if she has to hold council over all these swamps.
Yeah,
But yes, or go ahead.
as a slight politician, Elise is quite impressed. Or no one is impressed,
Yeah.
I should say.
She definitely looks elven to you, but you're not sure because you don't have nature, right?
No.
Yeah, she doesn't look like the elves you're used to dealing with. She isn't as pale, and she seems a lot less aloof. Because I know you have some history with the elves.
Yeah.
Her features definitely look of those, like not half elven. She is obviously elven, with her ears.
Maybe more wood elf or
It's possible. I don't think Elise has much dealing with the Wood Elves.
No. More than
Uh,
elves.
But yeah, at this point, she's just kind of sitting there, very politely smiling and drinking the tea, talking to you. How long are you going to stay in hiding, Quentin?
At this point, since I can't pick up anything, she's not seeming impatient. I'll saunter over. Is Flintwing around near me talking to me, or do I have no idea where he is?
You don't know where he is. He's probably
Okay.
invisible somewhere.
He's usually in range to taunt me, so.
Yeah, he's gone strangely quiet since Uthe arrived. Alright, so if you walk over, she would turn and give you a smile as she stands up. She says, Quentin?
I will do a ceremonial bow and just be like, Archdruid. I don't know if I remember her. If Quentin's been told her name, but I'll be like, if I know it, I'd say it. Like, Archdruid Uthe.
So
Bow.
she kind of smiles. She says, oh, how formal. Yes, I am Archdruid Uthe. I've heard a lot about you. I was hoping you would join us to talk a little bit about everything that's happened to you up till now.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I gave her a brief rundown, but I'm sure you can offer some more details.
Yes, your friend here was very insightful. Very helpful in giving me details of what you encountered with the fires of dawn and your encounter with the obelisk.
Yeah, that was really weird.
She says, I'd like to hear more from you. What do you know of these abilities and the things that have happened to you?
Honestly, fuck all. Like, not a clue. Like, I literally, like 5 days ago, I could turn into a bear, and that was it. And now I can become other things. It's really weird.
This is a bear. That's a complicated wild shape for one as young as you. Not saying a dragon isn't.
Not to brag, but I've been able to do that since I was a kid. Wild shape into things that no teaching, just do it.
Tell me, were you or did you embrace the moon? Is that your circle?
Yeah, no, yeah, that was so basically what happened for me is during a full moon, I had a tattoo that just appeared on my chest that we gathered meant I was a moon druid, but like I said, I never really had like a ceremony thing that chose anything. Just happened.
Can I see this tattoo?
You could, but it's different now. Like, it's not the. It used to be two dire wolves that were kind of like, one was black, one was white, and the black one was chasing the moon, and the white one was chasing the sun. But now it's turned into. Okay, at a game, it's the Elder Scrolls Online symbol, the circle that's the three different animals, the dragon, the griffin, and I can't remember the other thing. It's turned into that. I've got a picture. I'll put it on the group chat later. But yeah, that's basically what my new tattoo, when I did the circle of the worm thing, it's turned into. Yeah, no, and it's golden, and it's really weird. And I will lift it up with the defined abs and everything. It's like, it's this now.
So she nods, taking a look at it. I see. Fascinating. And you've never had any ability to turn into oh wait, so you did tell her you could turn into dragons, right?
I said I couldn't do other things.
Okay.
No, she's the one who said dragons are more complex.
Yeah, I think that she got word of that from the elder.
Yeah,
Well,
someone told her.
I think Elise
Yeah,
told her.
Elise told her as well.
Okay. She says, and you've never had any of these abilities before to turn into anything besides what you did as a child.
No, I mean, like, as soon as I got the abilities, I have put it in the group chat. I didn't realize I put it in the group chat already in the party section. No, I didn't. When the tattoo on my
the right pack changed from the direwolves to that circle with the 3 animals, that's when my thing changed as well. Like, I now can't turn into a bear or a direwolf or anything like that. I now just become a dragon. And also, it takes a lot more of it from me. Like, before I could turn into an animal and I could do it again, the dragon, it takes everything to do it. Once I've lost it, I can't get it back again, not until I've rested a little.
This is a more powerful shape, I imagine. Can you turn into it now? I'd like to see.
Okay. Alright. Anything in particular you'd like?
So,
Request.
can you control what shape you assume as a dragon?
It's kind of like the moon thing, as far as I'm aware. Like, growing up, my dad took me around a lot, and and I liked dragons. It was always a thing I enjoyed seeing. So I've seen a lot of dragons, to be honest. Mostly as an animal, but I kind of know most of them.
Quentin, why don't you become a fairy dragon?
Okay. And I wild shape into a older fairy dragon.
Alright. So she watches your transformation, just kind of nodding. And she says, yes, this is not something that most druids are able to accomplish. It's just odd to me you've never been able to do this before. Almost like the ability was sealed away inside you somehow.
I mean, still talking in the dragon now. And now I can speak Sylvan, which is fun. Yeah, no, like, it's really, like, I touched the obelisk, which was kind of like it was really weird, because the obelisk was kind of like frozen rocks just jutting out of each other, and when I touched it, it was giving off a golden blue aura before I touched it, and I touched it, and the aura vanished, and then I could do this.
She says...
Also, my voice changed.
I look like Tom Holland now.
Yeah, I now look like Tom Holland.
So she says the obelisk sounds like an ancient totem that our people used, made of black stone. There were several of them scattered about. I'd be curious to see where this one was, though. I don't know if I'm going to look for it just yet. But that might give me some answers as to what happened to you.
I mean, they haven't told... I didn't tell the elders here because it was something I didn't want to tell everyone, and I'm whispering this bit. But dragons can't talk telepathically to a person. Damn it.
Fairy dragons.
No, not fairy dragons. I will whisper to her, like, they referred to me as the disciple of the Oasis. But that's what they were looking for. They were looking for a druid to open a grove. And that's what they were doing. They were searching for Quintons who could do that.
She says, I don't... Well, hang on. So, she, what's your passive insight? 20?
18. That's my passive investigation.
Oh, I probably don't need your passive investigation.
Okay.
That's not something that comes up as often. But she seems deep in thought as you say that. She says, these Fires of Dawn, did you recognize any of them? Did you hear them speak any of their names or any information about who they are?
Not that I recall, and I am going to look over my notes to see if I did. No names. Just mysterious druids.
I wish to look into something. Will you all come with me to my home? You and your friends.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Let me just check with them. I don't want to say yes and then they're not okay. I'll go fly off and... Oh, I can't fly yet. Okay. I'll scurry off and find a Patchwork.
Alright, what was Patchwork doing?
talking
with-
with Ahoto, but there was
Yeah.
probably a longer conversation, so we're probably just done when he comes to find me.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably still talking about stuff, but yeah, the little fairy dragon scurries in.
Hi, sorry to interrupt. Patchwork, would you be okay coming with us to the Archdruid?
Oh my god. Are you a fairy dragon?
Yeah, new thing, really weird. I don't get it either.
Wait, is that Quentin?
Yeah, hi, sorry. I thought it was kind of
Apparently,
obvious.
So she just seems like blown away by this. She's like, how are you doing that?
Not a clue. When I figure out, I will tell you.
So she's just kind of in shock, like her mouth is open. And she's staring at you.
You know, staring is rude.
Yeah, sorry. And she kind of turns around and goes,
Thank you.
pretends to do something alchemical.
Thank you. You can look, but staring is just rude.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
so what was that about?
Do you want to come with... The Archdruid wants to take us somewhere to look into a few things, and I didn't want to say yes before checking.
Oh, yeah, I'll come along. Sure.
Let's go find Kai. And I'm going to assume he
Whatever.
says yes.
Whatever he's doing, yeah.
He probably, let's be real, it's Kai. He probably says no and then
We'll
decides
come
to
anyway.
come anyways.
Kai said no, but he'll follow anyway. And I don't know where Flintwing is. Actually, I can telepathically speak to him. So I would well, I don't know if I have to see him.
I'm
No, as long
assuming
as they're within
Flintwing knows
60
what's
feet.
going on.
So I'll just like keep speaking as I'm wandering around, just like Flintwing, 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 Flintwing.
This is as you're going back to speak with her.
Yeah, as I'm heading back in telepathically, I just keep thinking it.
Flintwing would say, shush, I'm staying invisible.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Do you want to come with us to the Archdruid's place because they want to look into something?
Does she have to see me for me to go?
No, you can be invisible.
All right, then yeah, I'll follow you.
Cool.
All right.
Right, we're all good.
So she gathers you all up in the yard. She says, I'm going to move us there quite quickly. There's a druid spell where we can travel through the trees,
Yeah.
which I will employ to get us there. She says, everyone has to stay close, though.
I know the spell. They kidnapped me with it.
Oh, well, yes. Just make sure you're all holding my hand when I cast this.
Alright, I'll drop my wild shape for my dragon and be like, well, before I do that, I'll be like, Flintwing, come and land on my shoulder. I'll drop the wild form, turn back to me so Flintwing can land on my shoulder and we can all go.
All right, so she walks up to a tree outside of the camp and she begins to cast a spell. A moment later, the tree sort of opens up and it looks like there is a glowing portal into it, and she motions for you all to step through.
I
Let's
guess we
go.
All right, so as you step through, you are suddenly in a new place.
You're back in the cave.
No, you're in some sort of really old forest. There are tons of like really big trees that are growing all around. And in the center is an even larger tree that probably goes up about 50 or so feet, just like pushing up into the sky with huge roots. It looks like there is looks like there's some stairs that have been put onto it. And she says, welcome to the life tree. One of several, actually. Please come with me. She
I
says,
mean, that's big, but honestly, I've seen bigger.
oh, have
Like,
you?
My,
She
yeah,
smiles.
my home tree, where I come from, it's full of like giant 300 feet trees that entire cities kind of, well, it depends which part of the city you're in.
Some is in the treetops, some's like on the ground, but generally it's all built with it, and they're bigger than this.
Says you speak of the Feywild.
No, I speak of let me look up where I'm from.
She
'Cause
says,
I don't remember.
I don't know of any place within our world that has trees as large as the life tree. But I only hold domain over the southern swamps.
Well, it's from the north. It is from. Carry on. I'll come back to it when I find it.
So she says, I would like to use some magics to try to figure out more about what has happened to you. So it'll probably take a few hours, but I think it'll give us some answers.
What will you do?
She says, there's a chamber that I wish to go to where I can channel the energies I need. It's just a little higher up on the tree. But it shouldn't take long. And after that, I can probably just send you on your way. Where do you think you're headed after this?
Do you want to go back to Shaw?
I think there was talk about going back to going to Highguard.
Yeah, no, I thought we could go back to Highguard for a little bit just to make sure that
By the way,
they're not.
should we check back in with Shaw to make sure they know we're okay and not just dead?
I forgot you can do that. That might be a good idea.
Yeah, I can just send
As
them
well,
away.
we can figure that out after. Maybe once I get some insights, we'll know where you should go. But why don't we do a break? Do like a short break. And yeah, we can come back after that, and I'll do the ritual and get some more information for Quentin.
Why did I write that thing?
I was going to say it's unlikely you're from a place with trees this big, because I don't think one exists within Gaian. The life trees are the only trees that are this tall, because trees haven't had enough time to grow since the cataclysms destroy them. So unless you were talking about the Feywild, it's unlikely.
I just referring to the thing that I put the pictures in about the city of where I'm from.
Yeah.
Thing.
Maybe maybe it's in the Feywild and you don't realize it.
Yeah, that could be
Maybe.
it. But yeah, let me take a little break and I'll be back.
Yeah. Nothing said it's not.
Yeah, I mean, the veil between the Feywild and the Interior Plane is pretty thin, so I think that would be a safe assumption.
We're looking for a way into the Feywild, and Quentin's got one at home.
Oh,
There's plenty of ways into the Feywild. Why do we want to go to the Feywild?
there's druids there. I don't know.
There's druids here. Just pointing that out.
I talked a bit with Ahoto, and she confirmed something for me, and I will do druidcraft again and make a flower. I have been able to do things like this for some time now. It has slowly come back to me after I've met Quentin and Kai. I can't really remember much. It's more like muscle memory, if anything, but I might have some druidic abilities as well from before.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, So you're just remembering things as you go along, right?
Yeah, I still don't know how or what I can even do, but I have.
There must be a way to trigger your memory to make you remember.
I've been able to cast Earth Tremor a while back, which I haven't been able to do before. It was just I just did it in the moment, and I only realized afterwards that that isn't something I could remember how to do.
Well, the mind is a very powerful tool, and if it's keeping something hidden from you, it must be doing it for a reason.
I do hope so. Well,
Coming in the bathroom.
but I know I can do Druid Craft, and I know I can do Earth Tremor, so. Well, let's see what else I can do, I suppose. But it sure is strange. Druids are supposed to be rare in these lands, and now we have the majority in our group is at least partly Druid.
Yeah, no, like it's yeah. Then we just come from a druid grove full of druids, so I'm kind of like maybe not so rare.
Maybe just concentrated.
Yeah, maybe just like they're rare because people don't see them a lot because they tend not to really explore.
Oh yeah, me and Ahoto talked things out a bit. I asked her about some druid things also, like Gaian, the Earth Mother.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, they seem to have there seems to be a similar yet different thing that both clerics and druids refer to. Clerics refer to it as Melora, the Wild Mother, and druids refer to it as Gaian. But
Though
effectively, it's the same thing.
I must say the cleric version seems to be a bit more on the chaotic side.
I think
These druids
Ahoto.
seem to focus a lot on on order and the cycles and their sanctity is probably a
No,
word.
I have a feeling that's more Ahoto, a
Oh,
little less druid type thing because, yeah, I just think it's more
well,
her.
to be fair, she is my only source of information so far.
I mean, honestly, I suppose it depends which way you want to go. Do you want to be more learning traditionally, or do you want to more make up your own?
Or
I just make
third
up my own.
option. I mean, the druids are all about balance and all that. Perhaps it's a balance between the chaos and the order.
Yeah, what I try and do.
Well, I'll try to help as always, so probably more in the direction of order.
You know, like I definitely like. If I'm honest, Patchwork, you seem more order. Kai seems definitely chaotic, and I'm just honestly going with what I feel's right. I try and maintain a balance, and unfortunately, doing that is playing into the whole thing I was brought up with, which is stupid. But yeah, I just try and do what I think's right. Don't worry, Patchwork. Like you're good. Like if I'm honest, out of everyone who's kind of trying to figure their own things out, you were the one I'm less worried about. Because I'm pretty sure wherever you end up will be a good place.
I do try my best.
You don't just try, you do it.
You make it seem effortless, Patrick.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have the feeling I don't contribute in battle as much as others.
Oh God, no. Gods no.
Yes.
You
Like all of you attack directly, and I'm trying to keep up with helping you all, and I don't really get as much.
And you do a wonderful thing and a wonderful job with whatever position you decide to take. I mean, we love having your support, but we also know that you could wreck house if you should decide to.
I do have more spells meant for support than damage, but
you are a valuable member of the team, Patrick.
Look, Patrick,
Aw.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Whenever there's something going on, people always get drawn to the fight. The one out there fighting the enemy, cutting, stabbing, all that stuff. It always seems the more fun one. And it's important, yes, but the fact of the matter is that as important as it is, the person who's back in the house healing the wounds, taking care of the injuries, they're just as important, because without the one, the other can't do what they need to do. You might not do the damage, but you still do vital stuff. And honestly, like, I've seen you do Spirit Guardians. That fucks shit up.
It makes me a target most of the time, but yeah, it works wonders most of quite often.
Like, heck, I go into front lines and I can't do half as much damage as you can, so don't worry about it. Fact of the matter is, like, you're good at what you choose to do if it's damage or healing, so that's why I don't worry about you, because you're good. Like, if I'm honest, in a fight, I don't really worry about you or Kai that much, because I kind of know that you guys can dish it out.
Ugh. Hello.
Hello.
Also, going back to that comment about how druids are not so rare, don't seem to be so rare. Elise will just make a rare joke and just say, who knows, maybe we'll discover some sort of druid heritage for me. Or, maybe I'm from the Fey Realm.
Well, druids are rare in the civilized lands, but they are more, I don't want to say common, but they definitely have groves out in the wilds.
Yeah.
So
When I
they're
find-
not rare, they're just concentrated.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making it, and I'm just making
Elise just takes the level of druid.
I can't. I don't have a high enough wisdom.
Yeah, well, no, you definitely, you definitely should be strategic as to how you multi-class. So,
I definitely think like
No,
anyone who joins.
No, I cannot take a level in druid because I think you have to have a minimum of 13.
Yeah, in wisdom.
Yeah.
Anyone who joins the party now has to have like at least one level in either druid, cleric, or monk, just because it would feed into that whole nature thing. It's just gonna be a prerequisite now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, by the way, the way Patchwork wears the amulet is she has just wrapped it multiple times around her neck to make sure it doesn't get lost if she ever falls or just hangs upside down for some reason.
Are you talking about your amulet?
Amulet of the Devout, yeah.
No, you're probably...
Is it one of those choker necklaces?
Yeah, but
that
really
right around the neck.
wrapped around it multiple times, so yeah, it now is the choker now.
Unless someone steals it, you're probably not going to lose it.
Yeah.
Uh,
My perception's alright, so hopefully not.
yeah. I might need to end a little bit early just because I'm getting some headache at this point, but not right now. I can probably go for a little bit. Just kind of, yeah.
That's perfectly fine for me.
So,
Drink some water.
oh yeah, no, I've been drinking water, and I'm gonna hopefully have some soup when I finish here. But yeah, I've just that's kind of why I decided to take the break, because I was feeling it a little. But yeah, we can probably play for a bit. So, yeah, so the druid Uthe was gonna do some sort of ritual with you, Quentin, if you'll let her.
Yeah, okay.
And the rest of you, are you doing anything while she's doing this, or just waiting?
Just waiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lisa's got her book.
She's got her book. So it's about 11 a.m. right now. She would take Quentin over into a private area and say, this shouldn't take more than a few hours, but you're welcome to move about. Just be very careful with the old trees. Okay. So I assume that you're okay with that. Quentin. So you are in some sort of it almost seems like you're underneath one of the trees as there are roots going all around you. On the floor you see a stone floor with a bunch of symbols on it, which she would ask you to stand on.
Okay.
She would say, you mentioned your father at one point. Can you tell me more about him?
Depends. You mean the guy who raised me, or the one who's technically my actual dad?
Both, if you can remember.
I can remember the one who raised me, my actual family or anything like that. I don't remember. I don't remember anything before I was 4 years old.
Well, your father, the one that raised you, was he part of a druid grove?
No, he was a cleric of Melora in. I found it on the Discord, so. He was a cleric of Melora in a town called Ashdale in the Singreen Forests, at like northeast of the Teruvian Empire.
And
it's
these.
in the Ashdale Peaks is part of the Odrum Wilds.
And is this where you encountered these huge trees?
Yeah, that's where like the whole hometown location, where the city is, people are. They have a balance in between Melora and Arathis. It's this whole thing.
She says, well, I know of the northeastern Teruvian forests. That's old elven territories. I don't think that is where you were actually raised, if the trees were as large as you say. More likely, you may have been in some pocket of the Feywild.
No?
She
I
says,
did not know that.
that would be my guess, just because of trees that ancient, because of the cycles, don't usually exist above ground.
Okay.
And she would continue her chanting. So give me a wisdom save. And she would ask you to let the magics take you. Do you want to resist or just let her do her thing?
Did she give me any hint of what this is gonna do? What she's trying to do?
No, she just said let the magics take you while I'm doing
Okay,
this.
let it happen.
Alright. So you feel a little odd. Almost as if something is kind of searching your memories. You're not sure how you know that. But yeah, like something is poking around in your mind as she continues her chanting. She would take some time every now and then doing a couple of new chants, stopping and writing some things down as she goes. Towards the end of the hour, she seems exhausted, and she says, yes, thank you for that, Quentin. As she kind of ends the spell. She says, there's quite a lot to go through here. But I was able to make some progress. And I believe you are indeed connected to a group known as the Disciples of the Oasis, which is a very old and, as far as I knew, extinct order. I didn't think they had any people, but you might be one of the last remaining members of an ancient worm grove.
How ancient? Like previous cycle, many cycles before that?
They are thought to come from the first city. So quite ancient,
What?
actually, before the cycles.
What's
She
the
says-
first city?
Are you familiar with a city called Nightweather?
No, not a clue.
She says, well, I don't know much about it either. This is more of the domain of wizards and arcanists, but the humans initially came to Gaian from a different world, and the first city they built was a city called Nightweather. Not many know of where it is or if it even still exists, but rumors say that it's protected from the cycles and exists somewhere where the fires cannot burn it.
How do you spell the name of that city?
Nightweather? Yeah, it's just-
like
You just put the two words together.
Like weather, like
yeah.
atmosphere. Thank you.
It is supposedly home to magics that our people once used to hold sway over whole worlds. Nothing like it still exists. And again, these are all rumors. I only know a bit of this because I have existed for a while and have encountered a lot of different pieces of lore. But you, if what I'm getting is true, then you are part of one of the ancient groves of Nightweather. A grove that was able to harness the abilities of the ancient worms and put them to use. Being able to transform into dragons, much like dragons can transform into us, or humanoids.
Okay.
Does any of this sound familiar to you, or make sense?
I mean, it makes sense. Yes, sound familiar? No, because I don't know any. But okay, so why? Okay. If I'm descended, so I'd be a descendant, right? I'll not come from Nightweather, right?
No, well, at least I don't think so. She says Nightweather. I don't think anyone still comes from there. I mean, it existed from before the cycles, so we're talking about more than 20,000 years ago.
Yeah, but if it still exists, if it's beyond the cataclysms, then the city would still exist, right?
She says yes, although I don't know. She says, like I said, I don't know much about Nightweather or if people still come from there. But if you were from there somehow, then that would be extraordinary. She says, not much is known about the people of Nightweather or what she says, you are a Aasimar, yes?
Yeah, tenant, yeah.
She says, so you do have some human descendants. But yeah, so whatever the descendants from your human side could possibly, well, all humans are from Nightweather, she says, but yeah, I don't know, is I guess the easiest way to answer this. But this does give me some more knowledge that might be able to help you explore your background. She says, I think our first steps might be to investigate these Fires of Dawn who seek you.
Are they from the first city as well?
They, not much is known about the Fires of Dawn, but they lean towards the chaos side of balance. Therefore, they are much more dangerous than many druids. They have embraced destruction and changed through the destruction, hence the fires part of their name. I don't know if they're from Nightweather, but they seem to know about you and might try to use you to access this grove, which is probably why they hunted you down. The Blackstone obelisks that the one you touched, obelisks like that are artifacts of Nightweather scattered about the world. So that's most likely why touching it awoke the powers within you. She says, I know of a sect of druids who exist north of us, back within the Teruvian Empire where you come from. I think our first step might be to look into them, as I know they control monstrosities, but I don't think that they are part of the Fires of Dawn. They might know something, though.
Okay.
He says, are you familiar with Char?
Yeah. Yes. No, I know of Char. I've been there a little. It's where they Fires of Dawn found me and attacked me.
He says, the grove I speak of exists to the west of Char and some old dwarven ruins. So that might be your first steps, or your first step to explore that place and try to seek out these druids. They might know more about the Fires of Dawn who seek you. It might be dangerous because we don't know if these druids are friendly or if they're going to be outright hostile. I would definitely not mention your heritage, but perhaps you can figure out a way to convince them to give you information.
How well known is this druid groves from the city?
Oh, the discipline or the disciples of the Oasis?
That's the actual name of the grove. Okay.
Yeah, that's the name of the grove, and they're not well known. They're very obscure. I don't even know much about them. We had thought they had gone extinct, but there were whispers that they have existed in secret for a long time throughout the cycles.
Okay, so if I met this grove north of Char and said, I'm a member of the Oasis, they're not automatically going to be like, First City, I can use that, and they're not going to know.
No, they probably wouldn't even believe you. Though transforming into a dragon could probably convince them.
Should how? Okay, so just so I know, how common would it be people knowing in cities, wizards, other people, how wary should I be about mentioning that I'm from this grove?
That is kind of up to you to decide, but I would be careful about giving that information out to too many. As you saw, the Fires of Dawn tried to kidnap you, and there could be others who wish to pry information from you. As no one has been able to trace, well, as far as is known by scholars, no one has been able to trace a way back to Nightweather or any of its groves. So if you truly are the key to one of the groves of Nightweather, more than just druids would be looking for you.
Okay, so maybe dial back there.
No one knows.
Can you tell me then? I know. At least.
Right. You're right. No one does know.
Question. Can you then give me the name of a druid grove that I could potentially use to say that I'm lost from and I'm trying to learn stuff or get answers that it would work for, so that I'm not running the risk of them finding out who I am?
You mean use as a deception?
Kind of as a cover, one that is old enough that potentially not many people would be from it. That would work for me.
She says, invoking the name of any old grove would get interest from those in the know. You could just probably use the name of maybe. Do you know of any groves or were you raised totally outside of them?
I don't know any groves. Like, the closest I know about nature is the thing my dad taught me, which was the balance in between Melora and Arathi. And the idea that I am the child who's meant to help maintain that balance.
She thinks for a moment. She says, well, you could claim to be one of my students. I'm well known throughout the druidic circles. All archdruids are. So if you tell other druids that you, she says, actually, I do have enemies, but most druids will respect you as a student of Uthe. She says, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head who would wish harm on you, but I think you'll just have to use your best judgment in the situation.
Okay.
But generally speaking, students of archdruids are given a lot of respect by other druid circles. So, and I could back this claim if I was ever asked.
I mean, technically, I am your student because I don't know anything, and you're teaching me, so it's not really a lie.
She smiles and says, "Exactly." What of the fairy dragon that's following you around? And she would basically look right over at it right now.
I
assume
want you to know he was here.
I thought it might be something like that.
Come on, Flintwing, she can see you.
So Flintwing would nervously reappear. She says, "Hello, small one. I won't bite. You can come over and say hello." It says, "No, I'll stay over here." She just smiles at it. She says, "Do you know much of this dragon? I assume it was a friend of yours, as it was invisibly following you this whole time."
No, I met him kind of the same time I learned to become a dragon, and he's kind of intrigued, and he was telling me about the druids that live in the Feywild, and they sound really cool, and it sounds interesting, and I thought, yeah, let's go. So eventually, we hope to go to the Feywilds, take him home, but he wants to stick around with me for a bit, so that's cool too.
And the dragon nods and says, those fires of dawn brought me here, and they had me trapped. I don't know what they were trying to do with me, but Quentin saved me." She just nods. As well, it sounds like you two have some shared interests then. I think you'll make good companions. Also, luckily I did know you were with us, or else you couldn't have entered the portal, she says, looking at the dragon. So just be aware that spell does require one to have the permission of the druid to walk through, I think. Actually, I don't know. Does that spell require that?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so never mind. Just pretend I didn't say that.
I think you're thinking of plane shift, but transport via plants just opens up a portal in a tree that anyone can walk through.
Yeah.
It doesn't last very long.
Yeah, it's like a round, I think.
Yeah, like
or
plane
a
shift is
minute.
the one where you have to hold hands. Plane shift is the one where you have to hold hands and you have to.
All right. Well, she says, "Do you have any questions? I know this is a lot to take in."
Yeah, but I can't think of any right now.
She says, "Well, that's understandable. But why don't you sit on what you've learned for now? And if you think of anything, you can always ask me before you leave. I'm sure your friends are nervous as they haven't seen you in some time."
Yeah.
I can quickly get you to someplace north. I assume Char would be the best location, but I do know of trees all over the Northern Empire I could use to travel.
I was thinking of not going to Char straight away because that's where the Fires of Dawn first found me. And I kind of just figured going straight back there without checking if they're more secure and that the Fires of Dawn aren't hunting for me as soon as we're out of your protection. It'd be better just to have a high guard for a little bit, maybe like a couple of days, wait it out and see if they turn up there, and then maybe make our way back to Char.
Well, I'm guessing the fires of dawn probably won't bother you in Teruvia for a bit. Their actions most likely got the attention of the archdruid who resides over those lands. It would be foolish to show their faces again. He's probably hunting them now. Or she. I'm not sure who. Oh, she wouldn't say that.
So that would mean that the Fires of Dawn weren't a rogue element, right? They're doing this off their own intention with not an archdruid backing them.
No, I very much doubt they are operating with the consent of any archdruid. They are most likely doing this through their own volitions.
What's the oldest archdruid that you know of that could potentially know more?
Well, there are many different ones. I know of the closer areas because I meet with them every few years, but I know there are continents far away that have their own druid circles. So it's hard to say who the oldest is.
What's the oldest one you know of that could know about the disciples of the Oasis or the first city?
She taps her chin a few times. She says nearby. I think I'm actually one of the older ones. There's a dwarven one in the northern mountains who's old but not as old as me. The one holding sway over the Teruvian lands is the one in the Nazik or in the Nemoric Desert. There's a druid who lives there. I believe he is a human, so he's definitely not as old. Yeah, actually, on this continent, I might be the oldest.
Okay. So outside of going to another continent, which you'd have no idea of, would if we end up in the Feywilds, would they potentially know more?
It's possible. I think you would have more luck speaking with some of the Arcanists, actually. Nightweather is more a domain of historians and those who practice magic. Well, there are many rumors as to where it exists, but a lot of people speculate it is on a different plane. It's the only way it could remain hidden from the fires, maybe underground in the deep.
Or it could be like my hometown, which is like a Feywild bubble. It could be in its own bubble.
It's possible. There are many rumors of its existence, but no one really knows.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Is it okay if we spend the night here and rest, and then potentially make a plan and go tomorrow?
She smiles and says, "Stay as long as you wish. My grove is your grove." As I said,
Great.
just respect the spirits of nature and the trees.
Very well. I'll just go and talk to everyone.
All right, so yeah, you would find them probably all outside waiting.
Oh my fucking god! You'll have no idea what the fuck just happened.
What
What
happened?
happened?
So effectively, I'm Druid royalty.
As royalty in Druid Groves?
No, so effectively, I am a descendant of one of the first Druid groves from the first city that humans and people come from. City called Nightweather.
Do I know of anything about Nightweather?
Give me a history check.
Could I try to?
History or Arcana. It's a little easier with history.
I'm gonna try my best.
22.
So, yeah, I mean, that's some pretty elite or pretty obscure lore, but you have heard the name Nightweather. You didn't think it actually existed, probably. It's
I
something
don't
that,
think it exists.
well, you didn't before.
I don't think it exists. I think she's just pulling your leg.
Just fake.
Well, apparently, that So apparently it's this. It is the founding of loads of things, magic that helped them to control continents. I am from one of the first druid groves that are there that revered a great worm, which is why I can do dragon things. And you know that black obsidian pillar I touched?
Mhm.
Apparently, that is remnants of Nightweather. It's like a bit of it that appeared throughout the world. And when I touched it, it's what resonated in me that awoken that dormant power in me. Apparently,
Actually, real quick, Patchwork. You, the name Nightweather sounds familiar to you for some reason, but you have no idea why. But go ahead, continue. And if you want, you can just say you tell them everything, or you can role play it, however you guys want to do it.
I was gonna kind of do it like that way, I basically just tell them, flavoring it about like you know I'm this special person, but I tell them about that thing. Just so you know, I can't really. So I'm not meant to go around telling people I'm. So originally, my druid grove, apparently, I'm descended from the disciple of the Oasis, but I can't tell people that because if it's true, everybody wants to get to Nightweather. And so I'm not only something druids want, but everybody wants because I potentially am able to get there. So I'm going to either say that I am a student of Uthe, but then I also would inherit her enemies, or I'm going to say I'm a member of the Grove of the Stormborn. Just if I start saying it, just go with it. But it's not what I'm from, but I can't really tell people because, you know, hunted.
Mhm. Well, I'm sure we can come up with something.
And this is stuff you would know,
Also,
Elise, the stuff I'm typing.
Yeah.
Patchwork, like I said,
Also,
something about the name sounds very familiar to you, but it's almost like it's some kind of lost or hidden memory.
heck, Patrick, at this rate, I'm descended from a bunch of people who come from Nightweather. Maybe you were created in Nightweather.
Huh.
Like, who knows at this point? She did say about there's a druid grove north of Char in the old ruins, which the Iron Tide were in. That potentially they're also an old grove that that can control monstrosities, but they're not entirely connected to the Flowers of Dawn. They might be able to explain a bit more, but that's there. But I was thinking maybe if we go to Highguard first to see if the Flowers of Dawn are still coming after me, which they might not be, but that's a whole different thing.
So, survival or history might tell you something here.
For who?
Any of you, if you have proficiency.
No, I don't have proficiency.
So, you think, from what he's describing, no one, that the ruins of these dwarves might be the same place where the Iron Tide were.
Yeah.
So maybe there's
that's what I was assuming.
maybe there was a druid grove hidden there somewhere. Maybe that explains the rat that released you. Bum bum bum.
Was it? Also, she said if I want to learn more about Nightweather and potentially the disciples of the
Although
Oasis.
that wouldn't explain the second rat.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, the rat. Oh, I thought you said the wraith.
No, the
No,
rat.
the rat.
The rat.
I'll go back and ask. I'll go back and ask Uthe. Were you the rat?
No
that
one's
freed me?
arch enemy. Uthe, your mysterious companion.
My mystery.
Yeah. Uthe says, no, I haven't met you before the Grove, or before the Knight's Antler Grove.
No, it's right. There was a weird rat that come and helped free me, and then there was another rat that helped us before, and kind of really weird at this point. You know, we kind of trying to figure out weird. Thank you. Anyway,
But like, Elise is not going to mention anything about the rat because she was Karen at the time.
That's true. I would give it
Oh.
No, I
away.
know. No, I know. But yeah, no.
Nice.
So,
Try to trick me.
Trying to
but
strip
also
you up.
there's also the
Try
thing
to
that
trip me up.
Truth
I see
said.
you.
They said she's the oldest druid in the area, like on the continent, and no one's really gonna know more. But I could potentially ask arcanists about it. They might know more about art, Mayweather, and the sub of the Oasis. So yeah, that's why they're after me. Apparently, I'm the key to opening up the doors of the first city of humans and magic.
Well, of humans, magic is a lot more. Humans didn't create magic.
From what she said about magic, it's like got very powerful magic. So magic.
Yeah, maybe like magical
Yeah, ancient
energies.
magical secrets, so
Yeah.
magic.
But yeah, I might have to call it here just because I'm getting kind of like dizzy. But why don't we do MVP votes? And I'm guessing you guys are going to High Guard first.
Unless everybody else
Yeah,
definitely doesn't want
sounds like
I
it.
don't
I
know.
mean, I'm down for either.
Yeah, Char is closer to where these druids might be, but if you all had something you want to do in High Guard, we could go there. Yeah, just let me know. And hopefully
I'd
we'll
say
have
High
Kai
Guard, but I
back
also-
next week.
I'm gonna say High Guard because I also want to try and snoop out a little bit on night weather.
Right. And I think we're getting close to the end of the side quest. If we're going back to High Guard and the main storyline. But Quentin, you are MVP. Congrats.
Yay! Thank
You
you.
gained inspiration. Oh. All right.
Go and sleep.
Yeah, good game, everyone. It's good to have you back, Patchwork.
Good to be back.
We'll continue
I
our.
must say it's nice to have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, imagine. I don't know what I'd do without internet.
Well, I hope you feel better, GM.
Yeah, I hope so too. I'm not sure what's going on with me exactly, but we'll see. I'm sure by next week I'll be okay. I thought I was getting better last night, but now I'm kind of like bleh again. So we'll see. But yeah, I'll take some notes. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time. Let's see. You're welcome to, hang out, role play more if you want. But I'm gonna just finish these notes and probably call it 12 o'clock
Oh, yeah,
p.m.
who was scribe this week?
Oh shoot! Did I not assign it?
Nope.
This
I
week
have
it was
taken-
Quentin.
I have taken lots of notes. I can do scribe again if need be. I can.
I don't know. Do you think you could kind of summarize what happened, Quentin? Do you kind of remember?
I can.
It's
Yeah.
it's mostly just been role play, a lot of story points. So
I'm just gonna write RP.
RP.
Quentin's background.
well, it'd probably be good to get the story stuff in there.
Yeah. No, I will. I've got the. I wrote that. I was writing it down as you were telling me, like night weather and this one, just like. Dirt.
This
I wrote
backstory
down
stuff.
nothing.
You're reading your book.
Like, shh.
Elise was just sitting in the corner reading her book. I think she's finished it like 3 times now.
Starting your next book.
She only has 1. So
I wonder how intrigued Elise is about finding out Quentin's from the first city. Well, no one is.
I don't think Elise is that interested. I think no one is definitely curious. But Elise is just here for the ride.
No one's like, ooh, ancient magic? First city everybody wants to get to? Yes, please.
Interesting.
You guys spent a lot of time talking to Ahoto. I was kind of surprised with that.
I like her. She seems nice.
Is she someone you might want to have join the group for background? Or do you not really care
Whoa,
much?
Discord just froze for a hot second. Whoa.
I mean, it's nice to have someone like an extra person who does like potions and stuff to help. With
Yeah,
that.
it's like another
We have.
Melody or Doru.
We're just collecting alchemists.
Yeah,
Well-
it's great.
like I said, we did spend a lot of time developing her character. I could probably have her
Do you? I mean,
join you all. Does anyone want to spend a story point on that? Get an Hoto to come with you.
Can I burn the
Maybe.
inspiration I got this game to do it?
It wouldn't be inspiration, it would be a story point.
Like what you get for scribe.
Yeah, like scribing duties. A resource.
I would think I could think about it. Yeah. I
Alright,
don't know
well-
what I want to do with mine.
Well,
Yeah, we could, just let me know. We could say you go back through the Knight's
Yeah.
Antler Grove to say bye to everyone, and if you want to spend a
I'll-
story point, maybe,
I've got a story point from scribing at some point. I'll burn it to, I don't know when. I'll burn it together if everybody wants her, and then we can just have her at the house. And she can be like Patchwork's mentor, tutor.
I'll say maybe, Sethic decides that he wants his people to know more, so he has her go with you.
Shit, now I've got to keep it a secret from her.
now you
You
know how I feel.
You guys all have your secrets.
Maybe she
Yeah, well,
feels
you're good
she
at
felt
lying, I'm
challenged
shit.
challenged after the conversation with Quentin and wants to, I don't know, widen her view on the world.